In this mini tutorial, we'll be showing you how to create a simple looped cul-de-sac. In the drawing you'll see that we've got a couple of Civil 3D alignments. The first one is actually the road crown, and you'll see that that loops around the direction of the cul-de-sac and terminates at the final radius TP, making sure that it actually snaps back onto the alignment itself. We've got the other final piece of alignment, which is the connecting piece, which you can see I've actually highlighted with little circles on the drawing to indicate where the start point and the end point are. We'll need those later on to determine the levels connecting into our road design. So I've got a couple of templates, the first one of which is called Full Road, which as you can see is just a generic 3 meter wide or 6 meter wide road with the usual footpath and batters. And then I've just copied that and created a half road version, and this is the version that will be looped around the cul-de-sac. So to begin with, I need to create a road. I'm going to click on our full road alignment, and I'm going to pick our full road template, the surface referencing, which is natural surface, and I'm happy to reference it every 10 meters and click OK. So as you see, we've got an immediate problem whereby the template has been applied all the way around, whereas we actually need the template to be stopping at the radius TP as I've shown here. So I'm going to access the design data form directly from the vertical grading editor, and within the form you'll see total model is just updated in the background. Within the form we're going to now rectify the end chainage for the first part of our template, which is we've determined needs to be the radius. So I'm going to use the picker tool, use my snap, and actually snap to the end of the alignment. You'll see that we've got a chainage there, which actually isn't a sample chainage. So to apply that chainage value, I need to click on the Create Chainage at End and make sure I pick Add Data Entry Chainages, which means that that chainage will be added to the samples list. Now I've done that, and immediately in the background you'll see that the template has been taken back to that chainage, and auto model can now just be tidied up by striking auto model. So the next part of this is to then apply the half template from that chainage all the way round to the end. So I'm going to use the copy entry or copy button to copy that entry, save me having to type all this out again. So I'm going to take the start chainage and put 1000 for the end and apply the half road template and strike auto model, and we can see that's tidied up. Now that looks great on plan. We just need to sort of sort out what's going on with the levels in the background to make sure that the end level along the vertical grading editor matches to the same point at around sort of a chainage 170 odd on the vertical grading editor to make sure they match. So to do that, let's just have a quick look at Model Viewer, actually just show you what's happening first of all. If we go to Model Viewer and just do a quick pan around the those 2 points where they connect, you can see that the end level of the vertical grading string there doesn't actually marry up. So we're going to have to make sure that those 2 points are the same. There's a couple of ways we can do this. The first way is to open up a cross section at that particular chainage and find out the crown level, which we can do like so. You can see we've got a level of 445.11. So I can now go into the vertical grading editor and set that level. We've also got another tool to enable us to do this without actually opening up a cross section. That's the inquiry tool. So I'm going to set the search distance to I'll just set it to 1 and then click on inquire results. And if I pick the same point just using snaps, this marker appears and this form appears, and this tells us information about the design, levels, depths, chainages. So you can see I'm actually able to interpolate the level, and it's telling me it's 445.11. If I click on the marker and then grip edit it and reposition, I get updated values as well. So it's a very handy little tool to have, particularly if you're wanting to know things like depths or levels at particular positions of your design. So all I need to do is go and edit the final IP and edit the level to 445.11 and click on OK. Now we should be able to see, if we open Model Viewer up again, that the model is now tidied up. So really just need to add that final linking piece of alignment in. So to do this, we're going to basically turn this Civil 3D alignment into a string profile. As I said before, those circles are necessary to help me determine what levels are going to be tying in, what levels I'm going to be tying in with off our main cul-de-sac. I'm going to turn on the display of the sample lines for our full road design. You may notice the sample line length is considerably shorter than the default length, and I'll show you at the end how we can manage that. But you can clearly see I don't have a sample line at the start and at the end, which if I wanted to process a cross-section to determine the levels to help me set my string profile up, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm going to add an extra sample section. I'm going to click on my main full road, add single chainage, and I'm going to use just a simple snap, and snap to the center of the circle. You can see I've got a brand new cross section available, and add another single chainage and snap at the circle at the start and click on OK. So I've got a couple of opportunities now to be able to produce a cross section at these points and determine the levels by clicking OK. So I'm going to open up the cross sections. You can see we've got a level here initially of 444.443. So that can be the level for the end of the string. And I'm going to use the picker tool here and just pick somewhere on the screen close enough to my cross section, which you can see has happened. And I've got another level there of 444.773. So that's the start level and the end level for my string. So I can now create a string profile of my cul-de-sac string, as you can see there. No template, but sample every sort of 3 meters. 10 is probably too big in this case, and click OK. I've now got the vertical grading editor up. Those levels do not represent any levels that I require at the moment, so I'm going to use the grid view to edit the levels nice and quickly. So the first level is 444.773. I'll just leave it at 77. And the next one is 444.443. Again, I'll leave it at 44 and we'll edit it and refine it in a second. So just to show you how this will work with you can see those levels have been updated. I know that they'll tie. Let's just have a look at the inquiry tool. We could use the inquiry tool rather than opening up a cross section. So I'm going to use the inquiry tool and actually physically snap to the center of the circle, and you can see there that we're actually being told it's 444.443. So at this point we could go to the grid editor, type in 444.443 and press return. That updates. Use the grips, move the marker onto the other point, and you can see I need to refine that level to 773 as well, so it's quite a useful tool. Now those levels are set up correctly, I'm now in a position to add the string to this road model using Model Builder. So I click on Model Builder and I use Linked to Auto Model, which means use Auto Model initially and add this piece of design into it. I'm going to call the model Final, click on OK, and go to Include Exclude. You'll see Total Model has already been selected first of all, and we're going to add our cul-de-sac string, and then simply hit Build. I'm going to save the model, close this down. You can see it's been created in the background. You can see the contours. Now we can just have a quick look at this in Model Viewer and go to Toggle Display, because at the moment we're showing Total Model, so I want to show my new Build Model Final, and click OK. And then let's have a quick zoom. I would highly recommend using or having a look at the Model Builder, when to use Model Builder webcast to look at how you can tidy up excess triangles. You could just simply add a boundary to clear up those triangles, or trim the maximum triangle length, but that looks pretty good. Just a quick word about the sample lines. To change the sample line lengths, you go to the Active Drawing settings and then you go to the Miscellaneous tab. And then you can see in there I've actually already set my design width to 0. So the sample line lengths by default go 15 meters past the edge of your design. I've just basically told it to go 0 meters past the edge of my design. I hit Save and Exit and then perform an AutoCAD regen, and that will refine your sample lines throughout your drawing. But that's basically how to create a very quick and simple looped cul-de-sac.